Picture this. You've just enjoyed a warm bowl of freshly cooked edamame, soft yet firm, perfectly salted, and bursting with flavor. You don't finish all of it, so you pop the leftovers in the fridge thinking, no problem, I'll just reheat it tomorrow. But here's where things get a little tricky. Edamame isn't one of those foods that loves being reheated. In fact, warming it up again can completely change its taste, texture, and even its nutritional value, which is why most people recommend eating it fresh or chilled instead of reheating. The reason comes down to what happens to the beans when they're exposed to heat a second time. When you first boil or steam edamame, the beans plump up, the protein's firm, and the texture is just right, tender, but still a little firm to the bite. Reheating, especially in the microwave, tends to zap out the moisture, leaving the beans rubbery, tough, or even a bit shriveled. Instead of that juicy pop you get when you bite into a freshly cooked bean, you end up with something dry and bland. It's not exactly the experience you were looking forward to. Flavor is another part of the story. Edamame has a naturally sweet, nutty taste, but reheating can dull those flavors, sometimes even giving the beans a slightly bitter or off taste. The subtle freshness that makes edamame so enjoyable is very heat sensitive, and once it's been cooked, it doesn't bounce back the same way when reheated. Think of it like reheating French fries. Sure, you can do it, but it never quite tastes the way it did the first time. Nutrition also plays a role. While reheating once isn't going to completely strip edamame of its benefits, repeated exposure to high heat can reduce some of the delicate vitamins, like vitamin C and certain B vitamins, that make it such a healthy snack in the first place. That means you're not just losing taste and texture. You could also be missing out on some of the nutritional perks. The best way to enjoy leftover edamame is actually cold. Lots of people love tossing chilled edamame into salads, grain bowls, or just snacking on it straight from the fridge. It keeps its firmness, the flavor stays intact, and you don't risk turning it into a chewy disappointment. So, while it might be tempting to toss those leftover beans back in the microwave, the truth is edamame simply doesn't play nice with reheating. It's one of those foods that's best enjoyed fresh or chilled, giving you the full flavor, texture, and nutrition it was meant to have.